yesterday morning, our bomb went off.
These are words from the book, The Turner Diaries.
Most of the victims of our bomb were only pawns, but there is no way we can destroy the system without hurting many thousands of innocent people.
They are only words, but some believe they are words that can kill.
I think there's little doubt that McVeigh was simply copycatting the fictional bombing in the Turner Diaries, almost to the letter.
How you doing, black people? My name is Antonio. My page is Unapologetically Black ADOS on YouTube. I ask that you like and subscribe to my page. Today, what I want us to understand is that white supremacists and white Christian nationalists' spiritual blueprint is not the Bible, but is the Turner Diaries. Movies like The Purge are used to signal to white people the methods that they are to use in order to exterminate the black community.
The Turner Diaries is a sort of racist fantasy. A small band of revolutionaries committed to a white America eventually overthrows the United States government. Along the way, they slaughter millions of people, blacks, Jews, and what Pierce calls collaborators.
So when you understand what the Day of the Rope was, then you should understand the significance of them hanging the gallows on at Washington, D.C. on January 6th, threatening to hang Mike Pence. Because in their eyes, he has sided with the blacks. That was supposed to have been the beginning, the Day of the Rope, where they take a reckoning with all the whites who they feel will sympathize towards the black people. So what you have to understand is that their actions are bringing this fictional story into reality.
Consider this passage.
Today has been the day of the rope. There are many thousands of hanging female corpses. They are the white women who were married to or living with blacks, with Jews.
Also hanged from lampposts and trees are politicians, reporters, teachers, judges, anyone who rejects Pierce's ideas of racial purity.
A fog of war and a fog of chemical spray, this haunting image emerged from outside. A gallows erected on the west front of the Capitol with a bright orange noose.
To understand that the Turner Diaries is not just an act of fiction for white people. The Turner Diaries is something that they're trying to bring into reality. And them hanging the noose at January 6th is just an example of how much that they believe in this blueprint.
Probably the most important idea expressed in the Turner Diaries is that each of us has a responsibility for what's happening in the world around him. That each person has to stop being a spectator and start being a participant.
The author of the Turner Diaries is explaining to you the book was intended to motivate individual white people to get up and take action against the growth and progress of Black America.
I think as many people would read the book, there's another theme, which is essentially a rationalization for killing millions of people because of their race or their ethnic identity, or simply because they don't agree with you. Is that a fair reading?
What I said in the Turner Diaries is that we would have ethnic and racial warfare in this country if the trends that I saw when I was writing the book continued.
Authorities now confirming 18-year-old Peyton Gendron visited Tops Supermarket 2 months before he shot and killed 10 people in what the FBI calls a racially motivated attack. ABC News obtaining a 589-page document containing the suspect's alleged posts on the site Discord. Authorities say it appears to show how the gunman carefully planned out the massacre, visiting the supermarket on March 8th, where he was questioned by a security guard. The document also included sketches of the supermarket, outlining different aisles he could navigate quickly. The shooter allegedly describing the store as his first location, listing other possible locations to attack nearby. Police say the shooter visited the store again the day before his deadly assault to conduct reconnaissance, then came back Saturday and opened fire.
He's telling you the reason why you continuously deal with what they call the lone shooter in Buffalo, New York, who goes into the grocery store and kills a bunch of blacks. It's because they was motivated by this book.
Alive, the gunman killing 10 people: Celestine Cheney, Roberta Drury, Andre McNeil, Catherine Massey, Marcus Morrison, Hayward Patterson, Aaron Salter Jr., Geraldine Talley, Ruth Whitfield, and Pearl Young. Authorities revealing the shooter was investigated last spring after writing a paper shortly before graduation that referenced committing murder-suicide. The school calling state police, but no charges were filed.
The individual was brought in for a mental health evaluation. He was evaluated and then he was released.
Overnight, the suspect
That manner, the reason why you have the lone wolf in Jacksonville, Florida, who goes into a grocery store.
Story out of Florida tonight, a community reeling right now after a white man shot and killed 3 black people inside a Dollar General store before then killing himself. Officials say the racist attack happened in a predominantly black neighborhood in Jacksonville. This was just before 2 o'clock this afternoon. According to investigators, the gunman had written several manifestos, including one to his own parents, one to the media, and one to federal agents.
Portions of these manifestos detail the shooter's disgusting ideology of hate. Plainly put, this shooting was racially motivated and he hated black people.
We condemn the reason why you have a Dylan Roof who will go into a church and pray with black people and then up a gun and slaughter them, and he be considered a lone wolf, is because that is their blueprint, so that you do not disband their organizations. That is a defense mechanism for them, and this is why the government is so quick to call each of these mass shooters lone gunmen, is so it does not disrupt the organization.
Responding 110 Calhoun State.
Active shooter, multiple people down.
New details emerged today about Wednesday's horrific rampage. According to a warrant for his arrest, Roof, seen here on surveillance video, entered Emmanuel AME Church around 8:06 p.m. wearing a fanny pack. After attending a Bible study class for an hour, the court documents say he stood up and pulled out a handgun and began shooting. All 9 victims were shot multiple times. The warrant says that before Roof left, he stood over a witness and uttered a racially inflammatory statement. CBS News has learned Roof told a witness that he had spared her life so she could tell others what happened. In addition to her, a woman and a 5-year-old boy also survived by playing dead.
What is your age?
21. Dylan Roof stood emotionless as he heard the charges against him. 9 counts of murder for the 3 men and 6 women investigators say he gunned down Wednesday night.
Black America, we have to understand that we have just been going through a elongated genocide, a elongated Holocaust. They've just been using, the tactics have always just continuously switched. They went from lynching to police slaughtering unarmed black men to mass white men shooting black people in churches, in grocery stores. They just altered the method, but the goal is always to eliminate you from the face of this earth. This is how white people feel about black people, and it is innately built within them. They speak about 1% unemployment in the beginning of the Purge television show. You have to remember, who do white people accuse of taking their jobs? Blacks. And that is exactly what white people have done. They have taken that book as their personal inspiration to set out to attack and slaughter black people. They have took that book as motivation to target black people for slaughter.
Jim Crow was following the Great Migration northward, and both had landed in Chicago. In the last 2 years alone, an estimated 50,000 black people had arrived in the city, almost doubling Chicago's African-American population. New arrivals crowded up uneasily against a huge influx of immigrants fleeing Southern and Eastern Europe. Those European migrants were divided by religion, language, and ethnicity, but they held one thing in common: an antipathy toward black people. Business owners exploited racial tensions, frequently using black workers to undercut wages and break strikes.
Research about the Red Summer of 1919, where white people did mob lynchings and mass murders of black people in large numbers all throughout the country prior to the burning down of Black Wall Street, the Tulsa Massacre. It was over jobs. Whites came back from the war and blacks had the jobs because they had denied most blacks the ability to go to war because they had the intentions of denying blacks their equal citizenship here in America. And America was displacing blacks' job employment through white immigration. So when they talk about this utopia, know what it is. They're talking about a world without Black America.
We'll be fine just like always, no worries, okay?
This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual Purge. At the siren, all emergency services will be suspended for 12 hours. Your government thanks you for your participation.
Help me! Someone, please, help me! I just need to get somewhere safe. Does anybody hear me?
Let's go! This way!
Tony!
This way, hurry!
Why did you let him in our home? We have no idea who's after him.
Our target for this year's Purge is hiding in your home. You have 1 hour to find him and give him to us, or we'll kill all of you.
Tonight allows people a release for all the hatred and violence that they keep up inside them.
Why don't you guys kill someone tonight?
Because we don't feel the need to, Joey.
Just remember all the good the Purge does. They can't get in here, right? They can't get into our home.
We're gonna make it through tonight, and everything is gonna be okay.
Nothing is ever going to be okay again.